Are you a lawyer who lives as a perfectionist, right? And you would tell me that I have to be a perfectionist, otherwise I'll lose my license. Yeah, okay. Good to meet you. I'm Michelle Thompson with Resistant Vision Coaching and Consulting. Today, I want you to watch till the end because I have a tool that's going to manage perfectionism because it turns out that perfectionism actually undermines our ability to zealously represent clients and to make sure that we're in good enough shape to take care of them. So I want you to be able to get the whole thing. So this morning, I've been to help you sort out the challenges around perfectionism. I have been talking about the resistant vision framework and how we work with clients. And we are in the calm part of it right now. And as we are in calm, one of the tools that we use immediately with clients is called emotional freedom techniques, EFT, sometimes tapping, because you're literally tapping on acupuncture points around the head and torso while repeating the thing that you don't like. What is this and why does it work? So when all right, here's the neuroscience explanation from someone who's not a neuroscientist, nor do I play one on TV. So what is going on with us when we encounter something that stresses us out is that our amygdala starts going, "Wah, wah, wah, wah," right? It actually doesn't, our amygdala starts to freak out. And the amygdala is the part of our brain that actually keeps us alive. It plays a very, very important function. It keeps us breathing. It helps us doing the things that we do automatically. However, when the amygdala is put up against something that we've never done before, ever, what it will do is decide that, nope, that's going to kill me. Not going to do it. And when you're in that part, when that's happening, that's when you find your cortisol levels spiking. That's when your breathing becomes more shallow. That's when you start to feel like you're in panic because you're actually going into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. It's that quick. It happens that quickly. So the question is, how do we actually settle the amygdala so it doesn't do that? And EFT is one of the, like many self-care tools are effective at it, but at doing this, but EFT is one of the most effective ones I've seen and works really, really quickly. When we as lawyers start to veer into perfectionism, what's happening is that our amygdala is running the show, right? It's telling us that we're gonna lose everything if we don't get it absolutely perfect and we can't have absolutely no errors at all, right? Or that nothing you do is going to be perfect, so we're just going to keep working and working and working on it by ourselves to sort it out, right? There are any number of ways that happens, but that's a sign. And let me tell you, let me posit something. Feel free to answer me in the chat about this, but when you are feeling like this, it's never going to be perfect, I can't get it done right, I promise you that your breathing is a lot more shallow, that you're feeling your heartbeat faster, right? You're feeling, there are physical signs that you have entered fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. There are times when it's appropriate to be in that condition, right? I like to think of it in a time when we were much, when we didn't live in concrete jungles. I live in New York City. It's definitely concrete. Right? When we would actually go and hunt our food, right? You would see, mastodon, dinner, great. And your body would, you would want to have your body kick into high gear, right? So that you could protect yourself and kill the thing to eat, right? But here's the thing, as you're trying to kill the thing to eat, you're running after it. You're doing all of this really intense physical work. And also, right, the after you kill it, the work of rendering it into something that you can use, right? Taking off the skins, cutting up the different pieces of meat. All of that helps to lower these signs, right? The cortisol levels drop. You breathe more normally, right? All of those things happen as you're doing that. With us, we get an email and we're having the same reaction. And I promise you don't go running around the block one time just to make sure you calm yourself down before handling the email, right? And so we we just build these symptoms just build, right? What does that mean? Our blood cortisol levels get really high. And when that happens, we're often not able to put ourselves to sleep at night. That's why alcohol is so useful. It helps to knock us out fairly quickly. The side effects is that because it raises blood sugar levels, it spikes in the middle of the night and you wake up in the middle of the night. Just saying. But we can't get our cortisol levels to drop. That's a sign that our midsections are we gain more weight. We can't get rid of it. It just becomes impossible because our blood cortisol levels are so high. We don't we wake up. We can't wake up in the morning because we're so exhausted, right? These are the kinds of cycles that happen. And as we're in this really intense stress response, we are unable to resolve the problems of our clients the way that we want them resolved. We're not thinking at our best, and we're not coming up with the most creative of solutions. So it's really important that we're not in that state of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, which brings me back to emotional freedom techniques or tapping. So when we're tapping, when we notice that we're going into that and we start to tap on it, right? For example, I'm feeling like a perfectionist, right? A perfectionist is actually a fundamental belief that we have about ourselves, right? I believe that I'm a perfectionist and that's why I'm good at all the things, right? That's a story that we tell ourselves. Um, but and but that story does trigger that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response in us. And so when we do EFT, we are able to be with this belief that we have as being a perfectionist, for example, and then we can tap on that without getting the amygdala going, don't do anything about that. This is how we live, right? We settle it down. There now. There now. You're okay. And after we do that, we can shift gears and actually think about, okay, how do I really need to do this? So I'm going to do a quick cycle of tapping here, and you can always use this if you want. I encourage you don't have to know anything about tapping. I'm going to explain what we're going to do and how we're going to move along. I encourage you, if the words don't work for you, that's fine. Change them. It's absolutely fine. EFT is a really wonderful supplement for medical and psychological support that you might be getting. It's not to be used in place of that at all. Right? This is not medical treatment. It does have the effect of alleviating symptoms that come with that, but don't like this is not your primary go-to, and I'm not here to heal you in that way. Okay, so I'm going to stick with the perfectionist version of this. Okay, so I'm going to tell you where to tap, and if you're in a place where you can repeat what I'm saying, that's fine. Don't repeat the where. Repeat the content of what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to start by tapping on the side of the hand, and then repeat the following after me. Even though I'm a perfectionist, I just want it done perfectly. I'm just tapping on it and open to the possibility that this can shift. We'll still tap on the side of the hand. Even though I'm a perfectionist, I just want my work done perfectly. I'm just tapping on it and open to the possibility that this can shift. And we'll still tap on the side of the hand, even though I'm a perfectionist. I'm just tapping on it and open to the possibility that this can be done perfectly. We'll start tapping on the top of the head. I'm a perfectionist. Tapping on the eyebrows. I'm a perfectionist. I forgot to say that if you're yawning, passing gas, a little bit of tears, laughing, that's all fine. That's a sign that energy is moving, and that's what we're trying to do. Tapping on the sides of the eye. I'm a perfectionist. Tapping underneath the eyes. I'm a perfectionist. Above the lip. I'm a perfectionist. I don't think of myself as a perfectionist, but clearly something's moving because I keep yawning. You don't have to repeat that. Above the chin. I'm a perfectionist. Tapping on the collarbones. I'm a perfectionist. Tapping underneath the arm. I'm a perfectionist. Tapping on top of the head. I'm a perfectionist. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Okay, so what I forgot to do is to have you assess how much that resonated with you. So I want you to guess the next number. So between 0, which is nothing at all, and 10 being like, please peel me off the ceiling. Before we did that round of tapping, I want you to guess how high that was. Right? For me, I would say actually it's a 4. So how much charge, how many ramped up feelings you have about saying I'm a perfectionist. And then after we did that round, right? Because we're in a different place right now. What was that number between 0 and 10? 0 being nothing, 10 being, oh my gosh, please peel me off the ceiling. And right now I'm between a 1 and a 2. So I got a bit of relief as we did that round of tapping. That's all it is. That's all we're doing. You can do that. If you look at other videos here at Resistant Vision TV, you'll see it's a different thing I'm doing, but we do 3 rounds of tapping. That is actually often all you need to have a bit of relief. And clearly you may not want to do this when there are colleagues around. You may want to go to the bathroom. You may not be able to say the words as we do it. That's fine. Maybe you do it at home, right? But it's a tool that you can use. You can probably feel in your body already the ease that's already there. And we only did 1 round of tapping, right? You probably, like, this is something that you can do at any time, easily, anywhere, to actually keep you in a state of calm. So now, how would you approach your work, right? If you're not going to, if the pull to be a perfectionist isn't so great, that's what we're after. If you want to learn more about EFT and how I can work with you about that, please send me a note at info@resistantvision.com. If you know somebody who could use this video, please forward it to them. Let them know that you learned something new, and it would be helpful for them to check it out. Please follow the channel and give it some love. Comment on this video if you will. And I hope that was helpful, and I'll be back next week with our next live. Thank you so much, and see you next week.